We should explain trepanation to people because trepanation is a very ancient practice of drilling holes in one's head. And you decided to you were in your 20s when you did this?
Yes.
And what influenced you to do that? Like, what was the motivation?
Well, it was the theory of it which induced me to do it. And in a way, I prefer not talking too much about it, not because I'm not in favour of researching it, but because I haven't done the research. So I can't say, look, this has been proven by science, which until then people didn't believe psychedelics worked. They would say that's placebo, fancy. Only that when you show in science, then it works. But anyway, the hypothesis is that when we are born, as we all know, there's the fontanelle, which are holes, which close soon. And you can see the pulsation in the fontanelle hole of the baby. You can see brain pulsing. And then the holes close, but the sutras, the bones, are quite flexible. So there's still the full pulsation, the full systolic pulsation is happening. Then as you grow and the bones grow together, slowly, slowly, some of the pulsation is suppressed because it hasn't got the room to expand. So the hypothesis of trepanation, which has been done now, the earliest skull found is, funny enough, the archaeologists at Chauvet told me, near Chauvet they found a Trepan skull of 25,000 years old. And you can see if the person lived after the trepanation.
Because the bone grows.
And softens. So that's kind of, I think, I haven't been studying it for the last 20 years because I've been on to psychedelics too much.
Right.
But I long to, because it's very close to what I want to do.
Do we know the origins of trepanation? Do we know that how it was
we know it's the oldest operation in the world, that it's done all around the world. It's very much associated with religion, mysticism. Very often the skulls which are trepanned have a special burial. They are buried in a pot or with silk around them, i.e. showing that they were either priest caste or royal caste or something. But they're very present in every culture which is interested. Not very present, but present. And the biggest mass of Trepan skulls, funnily enough, I think is on the German-Dutch border. I don't know why, but...
From what time period?
Prehistory. I'm afraid my memory's back and I haven't been studying it lately. But the thing is, wherever you look, there's I mean, the third eye, the thing in your picture, the third eye.
Yeah.
I was told by a thing is a visualization of the third eye, and one of the high, whatever, I can't quite think of the word, the high aims of Buddhism and spiritually is by meditation opening your hole in the skull, and that's in beautiful old Tibetan art showing energy coming in and out of the hole in the head. So it's always been why I think the priest caste was associated with it, because I think that on the whole it was the priest caste which took the compounds to get high, whatever they were, mushrooms or ergot. And the danger of getting high is when you come down, you have a bad time, maybe flip out, but have a bad time. And I think it was probably observed that the people with a fractured skull or wound or whatever it was, a hole in the head, actually slightly kind of rose to the top in the village, in the thing. They became the doctors or the shamans or... it seems to have an advantage. Because, like in Mexico, skulls. Everyone grows up with skulls. You know, they have skull. There's a
these Day of the Dead skulls. They're not real. They're
no, right. Well,
resin.
I've seen. I mean, because I was interested in. I've seen quite a lot of skulls. In fact, I've even got one, which is I can't quite remember, 400, 700 BC.
Wow.
An Irish chieftain is meant to be. And it's got actually 6 holes in it.
Wow.
And why anyone wants to do 6 holes, I have no idea.
Some of them are quite large, too.
Yeah. But I think, I personally think that the change, it happens with 1 hole. All you need is for the membrane to be able to expand on the heartbeat. And I think what the restoration at the point of trepanation is allowing that expansion on the heartbeat to the full expansion of the systolic pressure, which the child has until it starts to close over, kind of 13 onwards. The child comes down, 21 the average, the skull closes. And that's often when the mental problems start after 21, psychosis and all of those things. You're just at a slightly lower level in terms of energy for the brain. And what I want to do, it's very easy research to do, trepanation, because people are doing it in hospitals every day, by the thousand. At any brain operation, first you have to trepan the skull.
Right.
So it's happening all the time. Mm-hmm. So we could very easily, actually. I work with some very top-level scientists from Mexico, and I want to get that study going again, and particularly doing it for headaches and migraine, because it used to historically, in my father's encyclopedia, which is whatever, 1912, I can't remember when it was, something like that, it said trepanation is blah, 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 been done throughout history, and it is still currently being done with apparent success for the treatment of mental conditions, migraine, and da-da-da. So until in the First World War, they did the first lobotomy, and that stopped trepanation as just an old wives' tale. So in a sense, they threw out the baby with the bathwater. And I think that there is something, then it's quite easy to do. So I'm trying to find the possibilities, and I really want to do this research with trepanation.